Let's get cooking with Amy.
Good morning. Welcome back, everybody. I have a really fun, different recipe for you this morning. You know, if you're like me, you get into a recipe rut, you make the same old things time and time again. Sometimes you're looking for something new, something different. Well, this is perfect. I'm going to show you how to make a chili lime pork roast. Doesn't that sound good? And it's really easy. You can either do it on the grill or roast it right in your oven. So we're going to start out with a little bit of olive oil and some fresh lime juice. I'm using about the juice. You know, these happen to be really nice big limes. So about one big lime or a couple of little limes. You can just kind of eyeball it. Now, this is something that you need to do in the morning before you go to work, or even the night before. You need to let this marinate and really let the flavors get into this roast. So make sure and allow a little bit of time. So I've got the lime juice, the fresh lime juice, and the olive oil, and I'm going to whisk that together and pour this over this wonderful boneless pork loin roast. But really it would work well with pork tenderloin, about any kind of pork roast. All right, so the lime juice and the olive oil right over that roast. And now we're going to make a wonderful spice rub. And I've got a couple tablespoons of chili powder. I've got about a teaspoon of cumin, half teaspoon of oregano, some black pepper, some garlic powder, and a couple teaspoons of salt. I've got a really nice big roast here. This is about a 3 to 4 pound pork roast, so you know you really want to season it generously. Now this chili powder mixture goes right over the roast, and you can get in there with your hands and rub it right in there. This is kind of like a wet rub because we've got the oil and the lime, and then we've got all these other great seasonings. Now again, at this point, you can either just cover this real well with plastic wrap or put it into a Ziploc bag, rub it all in there, get it in the fridge for at least 4 hours. Overnight is even better in my book. And then you pull it out of the fridge and let it sit at room temperature for a little bit, 20 minutes or so, and then get it onto the grill. Or you can do it in your oven, roast it in your oven at about 350. Now this is going to take, depending on the size of your roast, about an hour and 15 minutes. When it comes to cooking pork, your meat thermometer is your very best friend. You really want that pork to reach an internal temperature of about 160 degrees. And so come back with me. If you could smell what the kitchen smells like this morning, you just run home and make this tonight. And what I love about this recipe is it also makes, I'm always thinking about, what can I do with the leftovers? This roast is great served with, Spanish rice or buttered white rice and some salsa or some pico de gallo on the side. Look at this. And I want to slice into it right now, but, I need to let it rest a little bit before I just, go at it. So it's real important when you're doing any kind of a roast, whether it be a pork roast or a beef roast, to let it rest. I like to serve this, as I said, with some wonderful fresh salsa. Maybe you can make some salsa when those, fresh salsa. Pick up some tomatoes at the grocery store, or do this summer when the tomatoes are at their peak. But you can pick up some wonderful pico de gallo like we did right at Festival Foods. And again, the leftovers, next day or a couple days later, turn those into, slice that thin and put it into some flour tortillas, make tacos, burritos. It is just delicious and something totally different to do for dinner. Really, really yummy. Recipes on our website. You can also pick up the recipe at any Festival Foods. And make sure and watch Living with Amy today. We're going to spice things up a bit and do some fun, spicy recipes. I've got a great Cajun pasta recipe with andouille sauces and chicken. It's just really delicious. Plus, we're going to make a homemade spice cake, one of my favorites, with a cream cheese frosting. And I'm always cooking, even on the weekends. Make sure and watch Good Day Wisconsin Sunday. I'm doing some Kansas City ribeye steaks in a wonderful marinade. So we'll